After 16 conference games and a pair of conference wins for both of these teams, we get to the PAC Women's Championship game right here on the PAC Sports Network. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Donnie Chedrick alongside Jonathan Spina. A special thank you to a couple of St. Vincent students, Noah Aftanis, our cameraman, our producer, George Hillen, for this one as the host school, St. Vincent, not in this championship game. We'll get to that in just a moment. An upset last night as the number 4 W&J Presidents knocked off number 1 St. Vincent. But before that one, a victory for the 2 seed in this PAC women's basketball tournament. The Grove City Wolverines taking care of business against number 3 Westminster, a 70-58 win in that game. Jonathan, we were here yesterday. You saw both games. You were on air for both games. A very impressive win for W&J, but first, let's start with Grove City. 70-58, the Wolverines victorious yesterday. 5 players for Grove City scoring in double figures. Jess Bowen had 16 points. Jessica Kimbrell had 11. Podkul, Balcom, and Visozi all had 10 in the win for Grove City. And then for Westminster, Bennett and Fromneck adding 16 points apiece as they finished out their collegiate careers in the semifinal round of the PAC women's tournament. But what did you see from Grove City yesterday that really impressed you in the 12-point victory to get them to the finals?
Well, it was complete domination from this Grove City team in the first half, and that's what impressed me. It was on the offensive end, and we knew their defense was going to come in and dominate, and they did, and it was a very good defensive performance for them, but everything was falling on the offensive end for the Wolverines yesterday, and it was the first half was dominant, but they're going to have to try to finish here in the second half today because the third quarter was a pretty competitive quarter, and then Westminster actually dominated that fourth quarter. It was just too little too late for them, but a great first half from Grove City, and if they can carry that throughout 40 minutes today, they will win this game.
Then in the second game, the nightcap of the semifinal doubleheader, an even more surprising one. 74-53, W&J beat St. Vincent, getting some redemption after last year's blowout loss in the PAC title game. The Presidents taking care of business, and they rode Ali Cito to that victory. 34 points, a career high. She eclipsed the 1,000-point accolade. Also collected 13 rebounds, so she was great on the glass. 3 players total scored in double figures for W&J. Johnston had 15, Coack had 11, but a 14-point lead at the half for W&J. They never really let St. Vincent cut it close. We would see a few times the Bearcats would make it a 13, 14-point game, and you were just waiting for that moment whenever St. Vincent would turn it on and get back into the game. But W&J never let that happen. How impressive was that victory for the Presidents?
Oh, absolutely, and it was just there was no panic in their game, and anytime St. Vincent would make a run, usually what St. Vincent does is they make the other team rush, and then they put up bad shots, and they're able to come back down and score in a hurry. W&J stayed in their offense. They stayed slow and deliberate. They want the pace to be slow once again today because Grove City's going to come out with another pressure defense on them, and they're going to have to do the exact same thing, where if Grove City goes on a run, they're going to have to stick to the game plan and keep the slow, deliberate pace.
And we take a look at how we got here, go through the entire week that was the PAC women's basketball tournament. On Monday, the first round, number 5 Chatham taking down number 8 Geneva 69-63. Waynesburg beat Bethany in the 6-7 matchup. The Yellow Jackets winning that one 79-65. Then the quarterfinals saw both host teams win. 2 teams that were featured yesterday, one still going. Westminster beat Waynesburg 76-60. W&J beating Chatham by 10, 65-55. Then in yesterday's games, as we mentioned, the semifinal round, Grove City, the 2, beating Westminster, the 3, 70-58. That was one we saw Westminster claw back a little bit late. They were down by as many as 29 midway through that third quarter, and W&J a thorough victory over defending champion St. Vincent, 74-53. So we will see a new champion in the President's Athletic Conference as the defending champs are out for the first time. Also, the PAC Women's Basketball Championship game will be sort of at a neutral site. The host school not in the championship game. But we'll step aside right now. National anthem coming up inside the Carey Center on the campus of St. Vincent College. You're watching the PAC Women's Basketball Championship on the PAC Sports Network. Another day at the office for victory, another outstanding national anthem as we get set for this women's basketball championship game in the President's Athletic Conference right here on the PAC Sports Network. Both teams wanting a victory in this one because the winner will get an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament in Division III. As starting lineups being introduced now, we'll get to those in a moment. W&J on the season, 11-5 in the PAC, 18-9 overall. Under 16th year head coach Gina DeRubo, also spent time at Bethany for 7 seasons, 400-plus collegiate wins, a 7-time President's Athletic Conference Coach of the Year, and 6 PAC titles under her belt. This would be number 6 at W&J for DeRubo if the Presidents get the victory, the first at the school since 2005 and 2006. The starting lineup for the Presidents looking like this: 5'8 senior Megan Williams, 5'10 junior Ali Cito, Hannah Johnston, the 5'8 junior, Alina McDaniel, the 5'8 sophomore, and Maria Lawhorn, the 5'10 junior. On the other side, the Grove City College Wolverines. It's been a little bit longer since Grove City has claimed a title in PAC women's basketball, nearly 35 years. The 1986-1987 season, when the Wolverines were coached by Susan Roberts, that was the last time the Wolverines claimed a PAC women's basketball title. Under head coach Shelley Foose in her 7th year as the head coach of Grove City Women's Hoops, her 14th year with the team. The starting lineup for Coach Foose is as follows: Jordan McConnell, the 5'3 junior, Jess Bowen, the 5'8 junior, Allison Podkul, the 5'8 sophomore, Kate Balcom, 5'6 senior, and the 5'11 senior, Jess Book, rounds out the starting 5 for Grove City. Grove City has won a school record 24 games this season, winners of 11 in a row. They try to make it 12 and try to claim the first PAC women's basketball title at the school since 1986-1987. The Presidents come out in the road red uniforms, red tops, red bottoms, black lettering and numerals, Presidents written across the front. For Grove City, the home gray uniforms, gray tops and gray bottoms. For Grove City, the red lettering and numerals. So the Wolverines and the Presidents about to get underway. Jonathan, any final thoughts moments before opening tip?
Well, W&J, if they're going to win this game today, they're going to have to do exactly what they did yesterday and control the pace of play. They want to have a slow game. If you could keep it low scoring, do that. And Grove City, you're going to try to speed up W&J. You got to play that great defense, and if your offense is hitting on all cylinders like yesterday, it'll be a great day for the Wolverines.
The Presidents 5 are out there awaiting. Ali Cito will be the player doing the honors at center court for the Presidents. Kate Balcom, a two-time PAC Defensive Player of the Year, will face her. About to get underway, 10 minutes on the clock, 4 quarters of basketball ahead of us on the PAC Sports Network. The Presidents win the tip, and we are underway. McDaniel working it inside, Lawhorn with possession. She finds Williams. Now back to McDaniel. Inside the paint, turnaround layup attempt for Lawhorn goes out of play, and it stays with the Presidents. First possession of the basketball game. Johnston does the inbound, finding Cito, who had a career-high 34 last night. Medium 2 jumper, no good for McDaniel, and Balcom collects the rebound. McConnell to Bowen. Bowen had 16 to lead Grove City last night in the 70-58 victory against Westminster. Balcom goes to her right, picks up her dribble, finds Bowen at the top. Bowen will drive in left side. Great bounce pass and an easy find. Allison Podkul opens the scoring. First 2 points go to the Wolverines.
And that's exactly what you want if you're Grove City. You get the stop on the initial possession, and then a great ball movement. They stayed patient, ran down the shot clock, and then Bowen with a great find to Podkul.
Presidents with the basketball, down by a pair, a minute into this one. Lawhorn inside the arc. Cito, she'll take a 3 from the wing. Off the side of the rim, no good. Podkul there to retrieve it. Podkul starting in this game, also finished last night's game after a pretty scary collision took place in that first semifinals matchup that kept Podkul out for a little bit. Bowen with possession, a handoff to Podkul. She drives in. That layup a little bit too strong, goes over the hoop, and a rebound for the Presidents. Williams up the court, guarded by two-time Defensive Player of the Year, Kate Balcom. 6 consecutive Defensive Player of the Year winners have come from Grove City. Coach Shelley Foose, just a little bit about defense. We'll talk about their numbers as Cito gets the first bucket for W&J, and we're even.
And I'm surprised they didn't double team Cito even from the start of the game.
Balcom a drive, count it, and the foul. Kate Balcom on the board.
And something that W&J did so good yesterday was that they didn't allow St. Vincent to get in transition, but right there after a made bucket, Grove City able to get right down the floor, get the ball to Balcom, and she's able to get the N1.
Balcom 15.3 points per game, a top 10 number in the President's Athletic Conference. Free throw no good. A 70% free throw shooter is the senior. Grove City with another early lead. Driving in strong is McDaniel. No good. Cito there for the rebound and 2 more. Balcom quickly the other way. Off the glass it goes. Trading buckets are Cito and Balcom. Both have 4. And Grove City with the advantage early. Half court. Stolen away. Bowen comes up with it. Tries to pass it away and gets fouled. We await to see the number issued. But the Wolverines have the basketball.
They're going to get Cito there for that foul, and Grove City controlling the pace here, at least in the first 2.5 minutes of this game, as they've been able to get up and down the floor at will in transition. And right there, the defense we've seen the defense all year long for Grove City right there, forces the first turnover of the game.
Bowen will inbound on the far side, a pass to the backcourt, and McConnell quickly crosses the logo. Balcom with 4 points, handling the basketball. Another drive in, puts up a shot left-handed, no good. Fight for the rebound, and Lawhorn comes up with it. Now Williams will bring it up on the far side. And a bounce pass, not ready for that, was Johnston. It goes out of play.
Yeah, and Megan Williams, the girl that actually is starting for Lauren Gilbert, who's out for the year with that broken hand. There might be some jitters here early on.
Gilbert among the better players in the President's Athletic Conference after just a brief look at any sort of statistic, having a great season before it was ended with an injury, and you see the hand wrapped up on that W&J bench. As the Presidents have the basketball, McDaniel on the edge of the logo. Works it just inside the arc. Lawhorn now back out. Cito 3. Back iron. It rims around and it goes.
We saw one exactly the same from Cito yesterday where it took a tour of the rim and it goes. And when you're feeling it from the arc, I mean, that's just what happens for you. It seems like everything's falling.
The Presidents with a 1-point lead. McConnell to Book. Nearing 10 on the shot clock. Podkul on the right block. A bouncer to Book. She goes up with the left hand. No go. Cito there for the rebound. Well on her way to having another pretty good game. 7 of W&J's 7. Lawhorn finding McDaniel. Underneath it is Johnston. 11 on 11 as McConnell guards Johnston. A pass to McDaniel, who tries to get inside on Bowen but can't do it. 5 on the shot clock for the Presidents. A pass underneath, deflected away by Podkul, trying to find Cito, and the Presidents with just 2 seconds, needing basically a catch, maybe one dribble, and then shoot.
Yeah, nothing really went for the W&J on that possession. Never really was able to get the ball into the post. Grove City did a great job denying both post players for W&J, and now they're going to have to throw up in desperation.
And a shot clock violation. Tremendous defense coming from Jess Bowen. Knocks it away. No shot attempted by the Presidents. And there you see another fine example of that Grove City team defense. The number 1 scoring defense in the President's Athletic Conference, allowing 53 points per game. Baucom outside. A switch by the Presidents defensively. McConnell trying to find Podkul. Pass goes high, out of play.
An unforced error for Grove City. We didn't see any of those yesterday, and the offense was just firing on all cylinders yesterday. No turnovers, no unforced errors. If there was a turnover, it's because Westminster forced it right there, though. Grove City just throws it away and gives W&J the ball back.
Pass in the backcourt. Goes high, taken away by Bowen. Goes up left hand, no good. There is Baucom for the rebound, and the putback goes.
Great job by Baucom to follow that play, and after the steal, Bowen not able to finish, and Baucom able to clean it up.
Working it inside to Lawhorn. Baucom goes down, slides across the floor as Cito's able to get a rebound. Out to Johnston, and the 3 falls.
Something lost in that game yesterday was Cito also had 16 rebounds, and she's been good on the glass early here.
A travel on Grove City gives it back to W&J. A 10-8 W&J lead. Media timeout with just under 5 to go in this first quarter. We'll step aside, be right back. The PAC Women's Basketball Championship game on the PAC Sports Network. W&J leads Grove City 10-8 in the early going of the PAC Women's Basketball Championship as you are watching live coverage of President's Athletic Conference basketball right here on the PAC Sports Network. Today's broadcast is available at pacstream.net and also via the PAC Digital Network app on Roku and Apple TV. Donnie Chedrick and Jonathan Spina with you for this one. Greg Finley and Steve Mahler will have the men's championship game live from Grove City a little bit later on as the Wolverines host the 5-seed Geneva Golden Tornadoes, who have a couple of surprising victories on their way to the championship game. W&J with possession, a pass inside, and a foul. And Allison Podkul guilty of her first, the first team foul for the Wolverines. W&J with 2 team fouls, 5 fouls, institutes the bonus for your opponent. Another foul going up as Williams had an attempt, and she will get 2 free throws.
They're going to get Jess Book for that one right there, and Jessica Kimbrell into the game for Grove City. Her and Emma Fasozzi, who also checked into the game, was really the catalyst for that Grove City run in the first half yesterday, because in the first 4 minutes, Westminster kind of was in control of that game. Right after the first media timeout, though, those two really picked it up on the offensive end, and then everyone started to follow after.
1 of 2 goes for Williams as she makes the back end. She checks out of the game. Piper Morningstar, the 6-foot sophomore out of North Allegheny, in this one, a couple of championship games for the Morningstar family this evening. Piper in this game, her sister Paige plays at North Allegheny, the 6A girls basketball championship between North Allegheny and Bethel Park tonight at the Peterson Event Center. McDaniel has the basketball for the Presidents as they lead by 3. Inside Cito, right block, lays it in, count it, and the foul. Cito already nearing double figures, 9 of her team's 13, and a 5-point lead for the Presidents.
And Cito worked very hard to get in front of Jess Book right there, to able to get in front. Even though Vasazzi ended up coming from behind with the foul, she was able to go through the double team with Cito and able to finish.
Vasozzi calling for her first foul, and the bucket good for Cito. She has an even 10. 16.6 points per game for Cito, 5th in the President's Athletic Conference. Again, last night, just going off in the blowout victory over St. Vincent in the 74-53 win. Cito had 34 points and a lot of rebounds as well in a double-double effort. She collects one there, back the other way. Presidents lead by 6. Cito good.
She's just in another zone right now. I mean, nothing has fazed her, not even the Grove City defense. One of the top defenses in the league. They've double-teamed her. That hasn't worked. They tried to front her. She's just able to get around it, and she just continues to be on fire on the offensive end.
Vasozzi's 3 is no good. Rebound by Book after a scramble. Bowen takes a triple. No good. Rebound by Morningstar. Presidents continue to push. Right now, double in Grove City. Again, something similar we saw with Grove City yesterday. Westminster had a lead at the first media timeout, but then it was all Grove City after that. The Presidents keeping the pressure on. Johnston, a drive inside, takes a step into the paint. Ball knocked away, but it stays with W&J. Under 10 to go on the shot clock. And into the game as Balcom Bowen will exit.
And Bowen was the one with the block right there. Good defense there. And now 8 on the shot clock here. But this is where you want to be if you're W&J. You take 20 to 15 to 20 seconds off the shot clock every time. Shorten this game.
Inside to Cito. Possession will go to Grove City on the tie-up. And again, another great example of Kate Balcom's defense. Getting in the nitty-gritty, trying to steal it away from Ali Cito. Balcom leads the way right now for Grove City, has 6 of her team's 8. Cito has 12. Kimbrell will drive from the right block, but a travel. Book out, Podkul in for Grove City.
And with Book coming out of the game here now, it's essentially a 4-guard lineup for Grove City with Kimbrell, the lone forward, on the floor here.
And now the Presidents will watch Ali Cito go to the bench for at least a few minutes. Victoria Koek into the game.
And this is the perfect time to, because of Grove City's 4-guard lineup.
And a pass goes across the court. And we see the pressure put on by the Wolverines, and that forces a pass that goes out of play. Grove City trying to climb back into it, down 8. Final few minutes of the opening quarter. in the PAC Women's Championship game. Visosi, a three at the top. Money! She was the ECAC Rookie of the Month in January. Has been a key contributor for a team that found itself as the number 2 seed and in the championship game in the President's Athletic Conference. Three for McDaniel, no good off the back iron. Fight for the rebound. Morningstar comes up with it. Outside to Johnston. Nearing 10 seconds on the shot clock. Morningstar against McConnell, drives in. Balcom gets the rebound off the miss. Balcom, she'll try to go the full length, picks it up. A pass to Podkel. W&J wants a travel call, and now it's intercepted. Lawhorn to McDaniel. Passing half court, running into that double team. Koek, nearly a stop and pop down to Lawhorn. She gets fouled by McConnell.
Right now, the size of W&J, I think, giving Grove City some problems on the defensive end of the floor, as we've seen Lawhorn dominate so far. Cito's been very good for them. Two girls at 5'10", 5'11", and Grove City just doesn't have the size on the floor right now. All they really have is just Book.
At the line for W&J, Maria Lawhorn makes the first. The 5'10" junior out of Plum. 8.3 points per game, also top 10 in rebounds per game at 6.5. Second shot goes. 7-point lead for the Presidents as we hit the final minute in quarter number 1. Grove City with the basketball. Visosi against Morningstar, goes up, a high hook with the left-handed shot, but it does fall.
A great take there from Visosi, as Morningstar at 6 foot. Visosi only had 5'6". She was able to go up and over with the left hand.
A huge size advantage there, and Coach Gina DeRubo taking a TO, much needed, caught up in the backcourt. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here with us. Under a minute to go in the opening quarter. An 18-13 W&J lead, and we didn't see what we saw yesterday with Westminster. Once that first timeout hit, that's when Grove City figured everything out yesterday. They were down 9-6 early against Westminster. Then something clicked. Not so much today. Grove City by no means out of it. It's a 5-point game as we're near the end of quarter number 1, but W&J able to keep that pressure up and carry a lead to what looks to be into the second quarter.
Yeah, and I think W&J has done a great job controlling the pace of play so far in this first quarter, and their bigs are able to get in and clean up on the rebounding. And if you remember yesterday, Fromneck and Bennett were both in foul trouble, which took a huge hit to Westminster's rebounding. And even though Grove City's offense was hitting on all cylinders when they were missing, they were able to get that offensive rebound and get the second chance.
Lawhorn will inbound, and a pass that goes wide to Johnston will go out of play.
And that's tough right there, especially after you use the timeout, so you're drawing up a play to get out of that pressure, and then the inbounds pass gets thrown away.
Balcom will do the honors for Grove City. About an 8-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Visosi handles it for the Wolverines. Grove City trying to cut the deficit down. It's 5 right now as we're near the final moments of this first quarter. Bowen in the corner to Visosi. She'll drive in left side. Bouncer to Kimbrell. Knocked away. And W&J comes up with it. Still 10 seconds. Plenty of time for W&J to get a good shot off. Driving in is Williams. Deflected away by Balcom, and Balcom is called for the foul with under 4 seconds left in the quarter.
Yeah, we didn't really see Williams be aggressive on the offensive end yesterday, and that's something we've seen a couple times where she has had no fear going into the teeth of the Grove City defense today, and she's going to get her second trip to the line here in the first quarter.
Number 1 on Balcom. That is 5 team fouls for Grove City. That was a shooting foul regardless, so 2 shots for Williams. First one goes. Williams, who averages just a half point per game, gets good minutes in the starting lineup, but more of a passer, misses the second one, and Balcom gets the rebound. She'll put one up at the buzzer. Half-court heave is no good, in the first quarter comes to an end. Number 4 W&J leads number 2 Grove City 19-13. It is the PAC Women's Basketball Championship game right here on the PAC Sports Network. One quarter through the PAC Women's Basketball Championship game on the PAC Sports Network. W&J with a 6-point lead over Grove City. Donnie Chedrick alongside Jonathan Spina for this one. Noah Aftanis, our cameraman, producer George Hillen. So a special thank you to the students of St. Vincent College for helping us out on Championship Saturday in the President's Athletic Conference, live from the Carey Center in Latrobe. But St. Vincent not in this one. W&J and Grove City battle for the women's crown. President starting the second quarter with the basketball. Williams at the top of the arc. Under 10 on the shot clock. A 3 for Koek is good. Presidents lead by 9. McConnell trying to work it inside, now back out. Balcom will drive, right block. She goes back out. McConnell back to Balcom. Grove City held to just 13 in that first quarter. Bowen in the paint, 4-footer, it goes.
And that's where Grove City's been most successful, when they've been able to drive, and then the big from W&J comes over to help. The other side of the block is wide open. And that's where most of Grove City's points have come so far.
Jess Bowen was scoreless in that first quarter. She had 16 yesterday in the victory over Westminster. She's also been the leading scorer twice against W&J this season. A 3 taken by Williams is no good. Back the other way. Balcom drives the baseline, left block, no good on the layup. Cito there to retrieve it. Grove City victorious in both matchups in the regular season. But the story was the same for W&J's opponent last night, St. Vincent, who had both wins against the Presidents this year. Morningstar drives in, gets fouled going up, and 2 free throws coming.
We don't usually see this, where a team, W&J has been very successful just on dribble drives to the rim, being able to beat the initial defender and then drawing a foul on the help defense. Yesterday, Westminster was not able to get to the rim at all. They were barely able to get it into the post to Bennett and Fromnick.
Morningstar, a 51% free throw shooter, no good on that first attempt. The foul on Jess Bowen. So the junior out of North Hills collects her first. Morningstar misses both. An empty trip to the line. Bowen against Morningstar. Drives inside, goes right-handed layup, no good. Balcom tries for the rebound, deflecting off Koek at the last moment to keep it with Grove City.
And that was great hustle by both players, and the ball ends up going off of Koek's back and out of bounds, so Grove City saves the possession.
Balcom finds Bowen. Now a bouncer to Balcom. Led her team in that first quarter. High shot off the glass is no good. Again, a basketball out of play off a W&J player. Keeps it with Grove City as the shot clock resets to 20. Bowen finding McConnell. McConnell goes to her left. Stanforth to McConnell in the corner. A pass inside deflected, but Stanforth comes up with it. 10 on the shot clock. McConnell's pass inside kicked by Koek.
That's good and bad for W&J. I mean, you had him down to 6 on the shot clock, so it's going to reset to 20, but you did get the hand and got your foot in the way to tip that pass.
Stanforth around the elbow, a handoff to Podkul. She will go in left side, puts up a shot, no good, but she gets a visit to the charity stripe.
It was a great initial job by Koek to realize that the handoff was coming, so they switched. Koek had great defense on Podkul initially and then just brought the hands down for contact, sending Podkul to the line.
Podkul, the sophomore out of Hempfield High School. First shot is good. 10 points per game for Podkul. Also shoots over 50% from the field, makes both free throws. She's an 82% free throw shooter. The deficit is 5 as Grove City trails W&J. Morningstar on the far side, a pass to Williams. Back to Morningstar. Inside Cito, right block. Another one for Cito. 14 first half points for Allie Cito, the junior out of Brownsville.
Yeah, and that is a mismatch. Even though Balcom, the defensive player of the year, Cito just has so much size on her right there.
Pushing it back to a 7-point lead for the Presidents. McConnell underneath, runs into trouble. Morningstar just gets in her way, and again, the size advantage there, pretty drastic. McConnell just 5'3", and Morningstar listed at 6 foot. Cito, a three at the top, in and out. Rebound by Balcom. Quickly back the other way. Balcom takes it all the way, and the layup goes.
And we need to see more of that from Grove City if they're going to come back here as they need to push the pace. There's another steal.
Bowen with the steal. She keeps it in. Balcom, a drive. Goes up with it, no good. Johnston was there defensively, and then Cito grabbed the loose basketball.
You see W&J here making an effort to slow the pace down here as Grove City controlled those last couple of possessions.
Cito with it. Just to the left of the top of the arc. Back outside Morningstar after Koek had it for a moment. Back to Koek, a three. Money!
2 for 2 for Koek, and there was no real urgency on either one of her threes for a Wolverine defender to go out and put a hand up. They're going to have to start respecting the outside shot from Koek.
27-19 Presidents. Nearing the halfway point of quarter number 2. And a pass out of bounds. Out of the hands of Balcom. And now we see a couple of subs come in, but before that, just Bowen garnering a little huddle around the free throw line. Trying to get some refocus in. Grove City taking every shot they can from the Presidents in the first half.
Yeah, we've seen some uncharacteristic things from Grove City. We've seen a couple passes thrown away. We haven't seen as good of defense so far. We haven't seen urgency on the outside shooting for hands to get up. And we've seen W&J get to the rim way too easily.
A foul called on Bowen on the far side as Morningstar was in trouble. That's number 2 on Bowen. So Bowen comes out. Stanforth comes back in. And Morningstar will inbound across the court. Finds Williams. Koek, a couple of threes so far, and there is Cito, but she's blocked. Gretchen Elsey comes up with a huge defensive play as Cito thought she had another easy basket.
Yeah, that was a great design game plan there as they went backdoor to Cito, set the backdoor screen, and as you said, Elsey out of nowhere with the come from behind block, and Grove City ended up getting the ball, but then a good foul by W&J not allowing Grove City to get out in transition. McDermott
called for her first. And Elsey to Stanforth. Besozi, a drive in, takes a shot, a runner, no good. McDaniel coming up with it. Koek now Williams. So a couple of 10-second violations yesterday on Westminster as McDaniel does get it across in time. Under 5 minutes to go in the opening half. W&J leads it by 8. Morningstar works inside the arc. Underneath, Cito in trouble. Outside to McDaniel. Now Williams, a deep three, no good off the glass. Never hit the rim. It would have been a shot clock violation, but Podkul grabbed it. Visosi, a three. Offensive travel.
Shuffled the feet.
That gives it right back to W&J. The three did not go anyway. And with just over 4 minutes to go in the opening half, a media timeout. W&J leading Grove City 27-19. It is the PAC Women's Basketball Championship game right here on the PAC Sports Network. Even when the game goes final, you can visit PACstream.net for archived broadcasts, blog articles on PAC athletes, and player of the game interviews. Remember, you can also like the PAC Sports Network on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at PAC Sports. The Women's Basketball Championship game on the PAC Sports Network. Donnie Chedrick alongside Jonathan Spina. Grove City trailing W&J 27-19. Final few minutes of this first half. The PAC Commissioner, Joe Underko, will join us at halftime. Assistant Commissioner Kevin Fenstermacher at the men's game, so he'll talk with Greg Finley at the half of the men's matchup, but that a few hours away as Grove City will host Geneva in the men's game. Greg Finley and Steve Mahler on the PAC Sports Network. Grove City down 8, under 10 on the shot clock. Visosi, a drive, stop and pop from about 8 feet, shot no good. Cito grabbing another rebound, brings it up the court. No Balcom or Bowen on the floor for Grove City. Not often you see that. Deep two for Cito. No good. The Presidents fight for a rebound. A couple of W&J players had the best chance at it, but off the deflection it goes out, and Grove City gets it back.
And that was the biggest problem there, was Morningstar and Coag both going for the offensive rebound so hard, they end up hitting into each other, losing the ball out of bounds.
McConnell at the top, goes right side. Elsie, she'll take a three. Back iron, no good. A great box out by Johnston. Kimbrell was trying for the offensive board, but the Presidents come up with it. And just getting it across half court is Johnston. Coak on the far side, comes near the middle. Back to Johnston. Going in left side, takes a left-handed shot, no good. Podkul gets the rebound and a pass to Kimbrell before going out of bounds. Still an 8-point lead for W&J. Elsie finds Kimbrell right side to McConnell. She'll take a three, and in and out. Ball was halfway down, and it goes out. Another rebound for Cito. Well on her way to a double-double performance. Already has 14 points. Pass inside, taken away, too high for Johnston. Visosi quickly up the floor against Morningstar, no good. Cito knocking it out of play, but off the hand of Elsie, or off Cito, to keep it with Grove City.
We've seen that a couple times here where just the pressure of Grove City has forced W&J to where they can't get the defensive rebound and clear possession. It's created multiple second chance opportunities for this Wolverine team, which is really keeping them in this game.
Malcolm will inbound. Final 2 minutes of the opening half. Book from the foul line. No good. Offensive board by Podkel. Grove City another chance. Similar shot selection. Catches some netting but goes out, and they say it was deflected. W&J bench can't really believe that, but Grove City getting another chance.
Yeah, W&J might have a legit argument there as the ref underneath made that call, but it's going to be a 4th chance on this possession here for Grove City.
Our officials today, Eric Stakem, Jeff Irwin, and Justin Ehrman. One of them seeing a deflection to give Grove City a chance. McConnell's 3, this time it drops.
Sometimes that's all you need is one break to go your way, especially a team as good as Grove City, and then you build a little bit of momentum off of it.
And the Presidents needing a short memory there, but McConnell swipes it away. Layup. Yes.
Yeah, and they got the ball to Cito in the backcourt, and she's not used to handling the ball, especially against pressure like this.
And you got to think the Presidents a little bit frustrated after that ball out of bounds gets called out on W&J. Gives Grove City a 3rd chance. They make it count with a 3. Then you see a turnover leading to another easy 2, so a quick 5 for Grove City to make this a 1-possession game.
Yeah, but in a game of this magnitude, I mean, yeah, it was a legit argument, but you got to let it go. You got to get to the next play. It's kind of like a pitcher who thinks he struck someone out, and the next time they get a hit, you just got to let it go, especially in a game like this. Grove City's good, and they're going to take advantage of opportunities like that, and now you just have to come back and do your game plan.
All about the short memory. W&J up 3. Lawhorn with the basketball. Finding Johnston. Johnston works it inside, back out to an open Lawhorn, deep 2, no good. Kimbrell hustles to it, and Grove City can even things up on this possession, under a minute in the opening half. Deep 2, Stanforth, no good. Rebound by Lawhorn, a foul going the other way. Foul on Book. 10-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. So the Presidents cannot eliminate the entire remaining time. Lawhorn underneath, right-handed shot, no good. Balcom there. Grove City can take the final attempt if they so please. Down by 3. McConnell, to her left. Picks up her dribble, finds Balcom. She drives inside, left-handed shot, no good, but hacked going up. 2 free throws coming.
Yeah, Megan Williams from behind there, and I mean, we've seen Grove City be successful driving to the rim, but they haven't done it as much as I thought they kind of would here coming into the game. Hasn't been as aggressive as usual.
Second foul on Williams. Balcom has 8 points in this one. Leading scorer for Grove City. The 5'6" senior at the free throw line. The Wolverines down by 3. First shot, no good. Balcom, her entire career, has been one of the best players in the President's Athletic Conference. One of the best defensive players, certainly in Grove City history. A 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Another first-team All-PAC accolade. Misses both free throws. Lawhorn picks it up. Final second of the half, and that will end our first half. So we have a good one. The PAC Women's Championship game. W&J with a 27-24 lead over Grove City. We'll step aside in a few moments. Have the President's Athletic Conference Commissioner Joe Onderco join us. It is the PAC Sports Network's coverage of the PAC Women's Basketball Championship. Welcome into halftime coverage on the PAC Sports Network. At the half, the PAC Women's Basketball Championship game, a good one. W&J, the 4-seed, leading Grove City, the 2-seed, 27-24. Donnie Chedrick with you inside the Carey Center on the campus of St. Vincent College. And I'm honored to be joined by the commissioner of the President's Athletic Conference, Mr. Joe Onderico. Joe, a very busy time of the year for you, as well as your whole staff, your assistant, Kevin Fenstermacher. Just so much going on with all the winter sports starting to come to an end. So just describe what these last few weeks have been like for you.
Tiring. Is that a good enough word? Probably for you guys, too. You've been pretty busy as well. No, it's been great. I mean, this is why we do what we do, and I've been looking forward to tournament week for basketball all year, knowing just, especially on the women's side, how close these teams are. And, we had, 2 games last night that, quite frankly, there's some surprises there. But, these teams have earned the right to be here, and we've got a great matchup for the championship game.
Grove City and W&J clashing in the women's title game. The Presidents seeking their first crown since the 05-06 season. It would be number 6 for head coach Gina DeRubo at W&J. Grove City would be champs for the first time in almost 35 years, winning its last title in the 1986-1987 season. What does this matchup just say about conference parity, seeing some different teams in the championship game?
Well, I mean, I think you've just referenced the kind of the unspoken elephant there, and that, when Thomas More was in, they had such a hammerlock on things for so long. And after their departure, this is only their second year gone. I could feel it last year. There was just a different energy in our women's basketball programs. Everybody feeling like, we've really got a chance to step up here and really take that next, hit that next level, get to the national caliber. And quite frankly, I think that's exactly what Jimmy Petruska and St. Vincent did last year. They followed up on it, playing in the D3 Hoops Classic and really playing some tough competition, had a great season. They just picked a bad time to really have their worst game of the year last year. Now, W&J had a lot to do with that, especially how they played them defensively. But I think you see it here, too. Gina, as you mentioned, going for her 6th title. So, some of those at W&J, some of them when she was at Bethany as a very young coach. In fact, her star player back then was Rose Scott, who's now the Westminster coach. So you got all kinds of those connections in the PAC, which I love. I think on the other side, the Wolverines under Shelley Foose, I mean, they really take her personality, that they're just relentless. They're disciplined, they're hard-nosed, they're tough, and they just keep coming at you. And you even saw it there. W&J really was in control for a while, but the Grovers just keep wearing you down and work their way back to 3 points here at the end of the half.
So many great coaches you just think of in the PAC, especially with women's basketball, just focusing on that. Jimmy Petruska, a name you mentioned. Roseanne Scott, who just won PAC Coach of the Year last night after her team fell to Grove City in the semifinals. Both coaches out here this afternoon, Shelley Foose and Gina DeRubo. Does that sort of speak of the quality of schools in the PAC, that they have coaches with such good longevity and success?
Well, I think that is true. I think it speaks there's a consistency there. And I think what you see, you start seeing little ties. Shelley was a great player at Geneva, during her undergraduate days. So, you have all those little connections, but they all kind of stay within the PAC. I think what you've seen is that as these coaches have been in place now for a while, you start to see those programs just start to slowly build. And especially, as you said, when you've got 3, 4, 5 coaches that have all been Coach of the Year at some point or another, they're constantly trying to climb over each other. Well, that's how we're going to get better as a conference. When they know it's not just one team I've got to beat, it's 3, 4, 5 teams we've got to beat. Everybody's trying, what do we got to do to take that next step and get to that next level? Like I said, St. Vincent did it initially. Now you see these other ones coming too. And it's just making us better as a conference, and I'm just very proud of that.
On the men's side in PAC basketball, Grove City, the 1 seed, trying for a title as the Wolverines host the 5 seed Geneva. Men's parity has been great for the last handful of years, and we see a 5 seed as the Golden Tornadoes have made it to the championship game after a few surprising victories. Does that make you happy when you see some upsets like that? Is it good for a conference whenever you see a 5 seed, a middle-tier conference team make it to the title game?
The short answer is absolutely yes. The long answer is, Pete Rozelle, the old NFL commissioner, used to say that parity was his favorite word in the English language, and I understand that. I think going into this tournament, we had said, you looked at those 4 quarterfinal matchups, and we all felt like there's not a single matchup here where we'd be shocked if the lower seed beat the higher seed. And that even included 8-1, because I felt like Teal was a really tough matchup for Grove City. And it turned out 2 of them did. Geneva with a minor 5-4 upset over W&J, and then St. Vincent going up to Westminster and winning. We knew there was going to be a team that was going to make that run. It was just who's it going to be? I mean, it could have been any of 5 or 6 teams. It turned out to be Geneva. They've really caught fire here at the right time. You've got a veteran coach. You've got a veteran team. You've got good guard play. I mean, they've got all the elements for it. And now they go up against a Grove City squad that's just, they've really been the hallmark of consistency all year. Steve Lamby talked about, they started 0-4, and he changed everything. He changed how they were approaching everything and just got back to process and fundamentals and completely turned their year around, and they've been on an incredible run. I think we're going to have a full house and just an absolutely wonderful environment up in Grove City tonight for that men's final.
For the first time under this format, the men's and women's format's a little bit different. And for anybody listening or watching that doesn't realize that, the women's tournament, it does the 5-8 matchup, 6-7 matchup. Then you have teams get buys, and even the top 2 seed get double buys. The men's side a little bit more traditional, the 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, 4 versus 5.
Right.
It seems that the coaches on the women's side seem to love this format, but this is the first time that the host school isn't in the championship game. So do you think that's something that will continue to be successful in the conference, and do you think it still creates a great championship environment?
Well, to get to the first part of that, Donnie, I get that question all the time. Why are your tournament formats different for men and women? And my answer is because the coaches want it that way. And our ADs, who ultimately have to give approval, are okay with that. The men like the traditional bracket, the quarters, semis, finals. They don't want to change that. But the women felt like by going to the double bye format, not only do you reward the regular who does well in the regular season, but it just makes those early matchups just that much more competitive and just better games in the tournament. So I think they both have their case. As far as you're absolutely right. This is the first time in 20-some years of having a women's basketball tournament we haven't had the 1 seed playing in the championship game. We went back and researched it last night. What does that mean for the future? I honestly don't know. I think the coaches every year get together in the off-season, talk about it. I would hate to think that that's the reason to change it, because it was going to happen at some point. I still think the logic for it makes sense, but that's why we're constantly reevaluating. Is there a better way to do this? Can we provide a better student-athlete experience? The one nice thing, Donnie, about the way it sets up is the tournaments complement each other very well, because we've got basketball every night of the week, as you guys know, because you're covering basketball every night of the week. So I think what we have works, but if there's a better way to do things, we'll look at it.
And then in the future, as other teams come in, another team coming in the near future, how do you think that maybe changes things in men's and women's basketball? Well,
I think Franciscan, especially on the men's side, is going to be competitive right away. They've got a really solid program under Joe Wallace. They beat Grove City early season in that 0-4 mark. I was down at that game in Steubenville. But that just shows you that they have the talent to play at this level. As far as I couldn't see us adding teams to the tournament. I'd be surprised. I'd never say never, because ultimately, we have to go through that process. But as far as again, it's just another quality program, both men and women, that's raising the bar. And I think Franciscan's going to be a really good fit for this league. They look like a PAC school in every way, with the exception of they don't have a football program. But they're in the region. They're faith-based, strong academics, liberal arts. I think their acclimation to PAC culture is going to go very well very quickly.
The commissioner of the President's Athletic Conference, Joe Underko. Joe, thanks for your time.
Always a pleasure. Hey, and thank you guys for a great season of PAC basketball. We love having you, and you guys do a wonderful job. So
thank you. Thank you. Love covering it. Donnie Chedrick with you on the PAC Sports Network. We'll step aside. Jonathan and I will break down what happened in the first half next. It is coverage of the PAC Women's Basketball Championship game right here on the PAC Sports Network. Welcome back into halftime coverage of the President's Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship game right here on the PAC Sports Network. Donnie Chedrick and Jonathan Spina with you. A good one after one half of play, Jonathan. Number 2 versus number 4 in the PAC Women's Tournament. And number 4 with a 3-point lead, W&J 27-24 over Grove City.
Yeah, and if you look at all these stats, it's pretty even. Rebounding's even, 21-20 turnovers. W&J has committed 11, but Grove City committing 8 of them themselves. I mean, shooting percentages around the same. The biggest difference in this game so far has been at the free throw line, where W&J is 5 of 9 from the line, and Grove City is 2 of 5. 3-point difference there. We have a 3-point difference in this game.
Teams back out on the court. They will switch sides. W&J will go left to right. Grove City will go right to left. Another thank you to a pair of St. Vincent College students. Our cameraman, Noah Aftanis. Our producer, George Hillen, helping us out with this one. Our normal producer, Amanda Sloan, taking care of the men's championship game a little bit later. Greg Finley and Steve Mahler on the call for that one, as number 1 Grove City will host number 5 Geneva. So there's a chance in just a few hours that Grove City has claim of both the men's and women's championships in PAC basketball. However, W&J going to try and make sure that doesn't happen on the women's side, and Geneva hoping that doesn't happen on the men's side. Grove City will start the second half with the basketball. Jess Bowen inbound below us on the near side. McConnell brings it up for the Wolverines. Bowen, a quiet first half, driving against Cito, and she answers early. Bowen had just 2 at halftime. 4 points for her now.
Yeah, it was a struggle for her. 1 for 4 from the field, but as you said, the quick start here in the third quarter for her cuts the lead to 1 immediately for Grove City.
McDaniel bumping out, medium 2, no good between the backboard and the rim, and losing possession of it was Bowen going back up. So the Presidents another chance. Lawhorn outside. McDaniel thought about the 3. Williams inside to Lawhorn again. Up against Balcom. Puts up a shot, no good. Rejected by the rim. A whistle. About a minute into this second half. A 27-26 game as the Presidents are on top. Number 2 on Jess Book. And the first foul of this second half. Johnston finding Lawhorn outside to McDaniel. Cito underneath against Book. Cito had 14 in the first half of this one. She had 34 yesterday, a career high. In what was a 21-point win against defending champion St. Vincent. Rebound by Balcom on the miss. Balcom fighting off a couple of W&J defenders. And the Wolverines bring it back up. A chance for the lead in quite a while. Balcom just to the left of the top of the arc. A pass down low off the hand of Podkul. It goes out of play.
And once again, something we're just not used to seeing from this Wolverine offense, and another unforced error from them where it's just an errant pass, and W&J's defense had nothing to do with that one again.
Williams in the backcourt, guarded by Balcom, gets it across the logo. A pass to Lawhorn, spin move, puts up a shot, goes in and out. Rebound by Book.
And you don't want those kind of possessions if you're the Presidents there. Just too quick of a possession, and now you allow Grove City to get out and run.
Bowen 3, back iron, Cito clamps down on the rebound.
There's a double-double for Cito. 9 rebounds in the first half for her first one of the second half right there.
She had 34 and 13 yesterday in the victory. And a big second half would finish off one of the great individual performances in championship weekend of PAC women's basketball. Podkul to Book, high shot. Not even sure if that grazed the backboard, but Cito comes down with another one. A bouncer to McDaniel. 2.5 minutes into the second half, just 1 bucket. It came from Jess Bowen early on. Williams guarded by McConnell. A bouncer to Johnston. Now Cito to Lawhorn. Under 10 on the shot clock. Williams trying to find Cito inside. Great job defensively by Podkul to deflect it and take it away. A cross-court pass, dangerous. Balcom goes up. She's fouled. Falling underneath. Lawhorn guilty of it.
That's a great job by Podkul. She was behind Cito, able to get around her and tip the pass, get the turnover, get it up ahead to Balcom, and she's able to get inside and draw the foul in transition.
Balcom 0 for 3 from the free throw line in the first half. Finished that first half with a team lead, 8 points. Also had 6 rebounds for the Wolverines. And she makes the first. 9 points for Balcom. We're even at 27.
And this is going to be a real crucial part in the game here for the Lady Presidents, as the Grove City at least going to be tied here. They cannot get out of their game plan.
Second one goes, and Grove City looking at a lead. Balcom checks out. It's 28-27. At the largest lead, W&J led 22-13. So a 15-5 run for Grove City to take advantage. Johnston, left hand, goes up with it, no good. Trying for the rebound was Koek, but McConnell comes up with it. Quickly back the other way with numbers. Grove City lays it in. It's Podkul with 2 more. Podkul has 6, a timeout called by the Presidents. 30-27, Grove City in front. We'll take a break as well. PAC Women's Basketball Championship game on the PAC Sports Network. Grove City with a 3-point lead, 30-27 over the Presidents of W&J early on in this second half. For W&J and head coach Gina DeRubo, it would be her 6th PAC title at W&J. She already has 6, winning one when she was a young coach at Bethany, a 7-time PAC Coach of the Year, 400-plus collegiate wins for Gina DeRubo. And coming in today, a pretty neat moment. DeRubo in the press room down the hall watching her daughter's game. Her daughter Riley, a senior at Trinity High School. The Hillers falling to Chartiers Valley in the Class 5A Girls Championship game. Knowing that Coach DeRubo had her own championship game just a few hours later. W&J with a bucket and then a travel the other way for Grove City. So now the Presidents down by 1 with the ball.
And that was a huge swing there as out of the timeout. W&J able to drop a good play, gets the ball inside to Johnston, who ends up scoring. And then they get down the other way and Kimbrell ends up traveling. Grove City kind of rushing right there.
The first bucket for W&J since the half, and Johnston a good bounce pass to Koek to get it across. Williams has the basketball. 10 on the shot clock. Inside to Cito. Cito going to her left. Off the glass, no good. Johnston trying for the rebound. McConnell had her hands on it and lost control out of bounds, keeping it with W&J and a 20-second mark on that shot clock.
What effort there by Johnston as she was all over that offensive rebound. McConnell in the way, though, and McConnell ends up hitting it out of bounds.
Johnston no good. The defense was there for Grove City. Visosi bringing it up the far side. Pass to McConnell. 5.5 to go in the third. 30-29, Grove City leads. Bowen against Cito. Step back, deep two, no good. And the rebound picked up by W&J. It's McDaniel this time. A bouncer to Koek. Visozi goes down. McDaniel takes an open three. No good.
Sometimes you're too open, like right there. McDaniel was so open there, and as good as Grove City's defense is, she was probably so shocked on how much room she had, she didn't really know what to do.
Sort of hesitated as well before the shot. So the Presidents remain down by one. Bowen inside, a bouncer to Kimbrell. She brings it back out. Bowen at the top. Movement in on the left side. Tries to spin in. Taken away on the missed shot. Rebound by Cito. McDaniel to Cito. Williams had it for a moment. Now McDaniel. Johnston from the top. Picks up her dribble. Outside McDaniel. Runs into trouble and travels. A timeout and a media timeout at that. We'll step aside, be back in a moment. 30-29, Grove City with the lead midway through this third quarter. It's the PAC Women's Basketball Championship on the PAC Sports Network. One-point game in favor of the Grove City Wolverines, 30-29. The PAC Women's Basketball Championship game on the PAC Sports Network. To purchase your own digital download of today's game, email the PAC Sports Network at info@pacstream.net. A digital download of today's championship broadcast, just $25. Donnie Chedrick, Jonathan Spina with you from the Carey Center in Latrobe. The defending champ, St. Vincent, knocked off last night in a rematch of last year's championship by W&J, and the Presidents get the ball back here. Grove City's offense sputtering out, ball out of play.
And it was a great job by W&J when it looked like Grove City started to get that momentum going. Coach Dina DeRubo took that time out, and W&J's really started to get the pace back into their favor here.
McDaniel calling out the play for the Presidents. Cito inside to Johnston. She brings it back into the corner. Now Cito from the block, puts up a shot, no good, but right there to rebound it was McDaniel. It never hit the rim, so it would have been near a shot clock violation. McConnell handles it for Grove City. The 5'3" junior from Smithville, Ohio. 5 points in that first half. Kimbrell to Visozi. Outside, a three from the wing. It doesn't go. Off the backboard, it was about halfway down, and it came back out.
It was a great initial move by Visozi to actually create the separation there. Good shot. It just, as you said, halfway down and doesn't go.
Across court. Underneath, Cito from the left block, no good. Again, a double team of sorts there for Grove City. It was Book and Kimbrell defensively on Cito.
And that's what you need. You can't have the guard coming down and swiping on Cito, especially the way she's been on the offensive end. You need two legit forwards to double team her in the post as they did right there.
Maddie Gutierrez in for her first moments for W&J. Has the basketball now. A pass to Williams. Gutierrez, the 5'10 sophomore out of South Fayette. Johnston charges in. Right side shot, no good, but Balcom will pick up another foul.
It's been a while since we've seen W&J be aggressive like that. And in the first half, they had a ton of success on the dribble drive, being able to beat that initial defender. And right there, Johnston goes back to it and gets to the line.
The Presidents in this quarter, now with that bucket made, have just 3 points in the third quarter. Game even at 30. All three of them coming from Johnston as she misses the second. Johnston has 6. 30-30. And number 30 has it. Visosi a pass to Balcom. Balcom circling the arc, now works it inside. Passing it off to Book, but a foul called. And they get Williams. Number 3 on Megan Williams, the senior. Bowen will do the inbound honors, finding Visosi. Balcom to Podkul, trying to get underneath. Koek takes it away. You've talked about the size advantage that W&J has, a lot more height than what Grove City can offer. And we see there Koek with very good length. The 5'11 freshman making a fine defensive effort.
What makes Koek so dangerous is she plays basically like a guard. She guards, and she's able to defend guards, and with her length is what really helps her out on both sides with matchups.
Deep 3 for Gutierrez would have counted if it went, but the shot was no good. Podkul underneath the basket puts up a shot. Again, there's Koek making a play. And the Grove City fans not happy with that. Gutierrez in the corner to Johnston. Gutierrez a 3, short. Collected by Bowen. Game still even at 30. Final minute of the third quarter. Podkul, Book, baseline 2 is good.
That's the first time someone scored in a while there, as the last time was those Johnston free throws. Both these defense started to pick up there, and Book finally hits the mid-range jumper.
A very defensive third quarter. Grove City outscoring W&J 8-3. Johnston 3. Back iron, no good. Gutierrez there for the rebound, and a second chance for the Presidents. Now Johnston drives. Off the glass it goes. 32-32. Dangerous pass. Balcom goes down as Gutierrez came in defensively, and the sophomore guilty of the foul, her first.
Yeah, not a bad foul there if you're W&J. I mean, that's only the third team foul on you in this quarter, and you take a chance at a turnover there, because if Gutierrez is able to get that steal, you have a chance to get more points and take the lead heading into the fourth. 32 all. Under 20 seconds to go in the third. Grove City can take the final shot. Balcom checks out. Visosi checks out. McConnell at the top. Under 10. Drive inside. Book has it in the paint. Puts one up. No good, but does get fouled. And Koek had played such good defense throughout the quarter. She was in good position once again. Just brought the hand down. Caught the arm of Book, and now Grove City has the chance to have the lead heading into the fourth. 2 fouls on Koek, who again has had a very good game defensively. First shot for Book, rims around, no good. And the free throw struggles here continue for Grove City, and yesterday it was Westminster with the free throw struggles against Grove City. Grove City 5th in the PAC in free throw shooting. Second one misses. Morningstar with a chance the other way. Nearing half court, loses her dribble, and that is what will end the third quarter. So we've played 3. One more chapter in this one, and a good one is ahead. Grove City 32,
W&J 32. It is the Women's Basketball Championship game right here on the PAC Sports Network. Three quarters in, score even at 32. W&J and Grove City, the PAC Women's Basketball Championship game here on the PAC Sports Network. Donnie Chedrick alongside Jonathan Spina. A thank you to some of the student staff with St. Vincent College. Cameraman Noah Aftanis, our producer this afternoon, George Hillen, on the PAC Sports Network. A special shout out to RJ Lacey helping us out with this setup. Our normal producer Amanda Sloan helping out for the men's championship game at Grove City. Greg Finley and Steve Mahler will be on the call for that one starting in about an hour or so between the Wolverines and the Geneva Golden Tornadoes. Morningstar driving in for W&J. She's fouled and heads to the free throw line.
A great start of the quarter, especially after a quarter where you only scored 5 and W&J initially gets to the rim quickly, but Morningstar blows the first free throw right there.
Score remains even at 32. Another big thing there, third foul on Jess Bowen. Bowen held to just 4 points in this game. Ali Cito for W&J has 14, but had 0 in that third quarter. Only one player scored in the third for W&J. It was Hannah Johnston, who had 4 points. Shot put up, no good. Outside Johnston, 3. No good, rimmed around. And now McConnell's pass up to Balcom, and again Balcom goes down to the hardwood and sort of slides across the floor. And now the W&J side can't really believe that foul. And honestly, Balcom flying high in the air, didn't really see much contact. She just hit the deck. And with that, they call a foul on Johnston.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was any contact there, and it was just how hard Balcom fell that it got the ref to call that foul.
Balcom picks up her dribble. Now a pass to Podkul, driving against Cito. Podkul losing it off the foot, and W&J gets it back.
And there's the short memory right there, as it was a questionable foul call there, but able to get the defensive stop anyway, and W&J will take the ball back over here up 1.
33-32, W&J ahead. Johnston to Morningstar. Ball trying to get across half court. Bowen with the steal. Fast break chance. She makes it count.
We haven't seen too many turnovers like that from W&J where they allow Grove City to get easy buckets, but right there Grove City goes right to their bread and butter to get the lead back.
The discipline of W&J's offense has definitely been a key on why the Presidents are down by just 1 and for a while had the lead. Underneath, Cito, she's back. 16 points for Cito.
It's been the theme the last 2 days. When you're in trouble for W&J, just get the ball in the post to her, and once again she delivers.
50 points for Cito in the semifinals and championship game combined. 34 last night in the win, 16 right now. A kicked basketball as the Presidents lead it by 1.
Coax everywhere. That's her second deflected pass with the foot, so it's a kick ball. She has 3 blocks in the game. She's been phenomenal on the defensive end here for the Lady Presidents.
Coac had a couple of threes in that first half, so 6 points for her. No points in the second half, but that defense has been played pretty well. And just 2 fouls on the freshman at the moment. McConnell drives the baseline, outside Bowen, a corner 3, money! Bowen has 9. And a pass intercepted. Bowen making the play, drives in against Cito, no good on the shot. Visosi the rebound, second chance opportunity, no good. Coac comes up with the board.
And how about Holly Cito to get back there? She was all the way on the block, able to get all the way back, stop the 2-on-1, and save it for W&J where they're still only down by 2.
Ali Cito named to the second team All-PAC team. And whenever you pick up an accolade like that, hard to use the word underrated, but based on what I've seen the last 2 days, Hallie Cito, pretty underrated in my book. Been one of the best players on the floor in these semifinals. They pass inside, foul called.
And I think you're just kind of seeing what she can do when she's the primary scorer. She had Lauren Gilbert with her throughout most of the year, so they were sharing the touches really. And then with Gilbert out now, Cito's getting all of her touches now, and you're really seeing what she can do on the offensive end.
Cito misses that jumper. And Grove City a chance from the foul line. McConnell, front end of the rim, no good. Visosi the rebound, and they bring it back out. Grove City leads by 2. Looking for their first championship. And a 3 for McConnell. From the wing, largest lead for Grove City. It's 40-35. The Wolverines looking for their first championship since 1986-1987, and Cito quickly the other way tries to silence things with 2 more.
Yeah, and after a huge 3 from McConnell, momentum all on their side, and they allow Cito to just go straight into the paint and able to finish.
Visosi, defense there from Cito, and she's calling for the foul as Visosi went up. Could not make the 2, so the freshman has free throws.
Yeah, mismatch right there. Visosi guarded by Cito, and she just had to step on her, beat her off the dribble. Cito trailing from behind ends up fouling.
Second foul on Cito. And if it gets down to free throws in this game, that's where W&J has the advantage. Top in the PAC in free throw shooting. Over 73%. First shot for Visosi, good. Grove City 5th in the conference in free throw shooting. Just under 70%. 4-point lead. Visosi makes it 5. Both go. But if the Presidents get in a situation with the lead late, you can count on Coach DeRubo's club to be ready for those late game free throws. Johnston, they get it across half court. They do call a 10-second violation. Johnston getting the pass off, but they call the violation that gives it back to Grove City.
And that was really close. It was at 21 when she let go of that ball, but they called a 10-second violation. We saw 2 of them from the Grove City defense yesterday, and now they get the ball back here, and Grove City can start to separate themselves a little bit.
A 5-point lead for the Wolverines. Final 6 minutes of regulation, and McDaniel, a huge play with a steal.
A good job by her to pull it out, because that's not W&J's game to run the floor and force shots up.
Presidents looking for a bucket. Morningstar on the outside. Movement in. Coac a 3. Got it! Coac has 9. 2-point game. Visosi, a drive. She loses it again. Johnston the other way. Into the corner. Johnston loses her dribble but saves it. A pass to Coac, now McDaniel. Just like that, the Presidents can tie it or take the lead. Cito to Morningstar, 10 on the shot clock. Morningstar has the angle and has the bucket. Game tied, 42-42.
In the last couple of possessions here, Visosi, both turnovers. It's just a little freshman mistake. She's starting to speed the game up a little bit. needs to just take a breath there and slow the game down if you're Grove City.
Final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. Bowen doesn't get the roll. Podkol comes back with it. Can't finish the bucket, but 2 free throws for the sophomore. A foul called on Ali Cito. Timeout on the floor, media timeout. Under 5 to go, fourth quarter. Game tied at 42. We'll be right back. PAC Women's Basketball Championship game on the PAC Sports Network. All even at 42. Halfway through the final quarter, and free throws coming for Allison Podkol. The sophomore out of Hempfield has 6 points in the game and is at the line for 2 shots. Third foul on Ali Cito, and the shot for Podkol, no good. It is these types of moments where free throws loom ever so large. Second shot good. 7 for Podkol, a 1-point lead, and now a baseline steal, a tie-up, and that gives it to Grove City. Following a discussion.
Not too sure what the discussion's for. I mean, the possession area is pointing that way.
Just under 5 minutes left in regulation.
Shot clock's got to reset though.
Grove City and W&J in a defensive stalemate, 43-42.
Somebody's got to inbound the ball. Yeah, there we go.
Balcom will do the inbound. Finding Stanforth, a handoff to McConnell. Stanforth, drive, now back out against McDaniel. Balcom's pass to McConnell on the far wing. Trying to work it inside. Spin move against Cito. She's blocked. Ball going out of play. Cito trying to come up with it. A big scramble and a timeout called, but right before the shot clock violation comes into effect. So now it will be a discussion on how much time is left. Coach Shelley Foose getting the timeout call. Gina DeRubo not happy about it.
That's the right call, though. I mean, that you heard the ref's whistle before you heard the horn on the shot clock, so that is a good call by the official. You just throw a second back on here, but what are you going to really do here with 1 second? I mean, Grove City did save the possession, but now they're going to have to go for a tip in here.
Yeah, true catch and shoot for Grove City out of this timeout. A 43-42 lead for the Wolverines, the 2 seed in the PAC women's bracket, W&J the 4. As the Presidents try to complete a run to win the PAC title. Book underneath, and they do get it off. Bucket counts. 4 points for Book on the cut inside. 3-point lead for Grove City. McDaniel having to cross half court. The pass to Cito. They can't get to it. Another 10-second violation.
It's back-to-back days with 2 10-second violations in this Grove City defense. When they start to get momentum the way they have in these last couple of minutes here, there's nothing you can do against it. You just got to try to speed it up, get it across half court as quickly as you can, and not let them set up that full court pressure.
And that Grove City press Really something to behold. Such a struggle for teams to get it simply across half court at times.
I think a fan just got tossed.
For how intense this Grove City defense is, and we do see some security members coming over to the seats below us.
They got Gutierrez, I think.
And we'll take a break. Timeout on the floor. Just over 4 minutes to go. 45-42. Grove City leads the PAC Women's Championship on the PAC Sports Network. Grove City inbounding the basketball, up by 3. Under 4 minutes to go in the fourth. Balcom thought about a 3. Pass to Bowen, now Ponko inside the arc. Working it against Koek. Left-handed shot, no good. Underneath is Book, another big rebound and finish.
And you haven't seen that all night where Grove City's been able to get on the offensive glass, and Book finally gets a huge offensive rebound, and it's a 2-possession game now.
Book with 6 points, all of them in the second half. 47-42, Grove City matching its largest lead. Under 4 minutes to go in this one. A great cut to the basket, a great screen set by Johnston, and Cito finishes 20 points for the junior.
What a play call there. They get Ali Cito wide open. As you said, great screen there, and she's able to lay it in wide open in the paint.
Balcom's pass to Bowen. Nearly intercepted away by McDaniel, who plays tight defense. 10 on the shot clock. McConnell takes a 3 from the top and drains it. An enormous bucket to make it a 6-point Grove City lead.
And this is kind of what we saw yesterday from this Wolverine team, but it started in the second quarter.
Across half court. McDaniel from the screen set by Cito comes inside. Cito finishes. Count it and the foul.
Cito would just not allow this game to end like this. Every time yesterday, it looked like St. Vincent was going to come back into the game. Cito had a big bucket. And in this game, every time it looks like Grove City's going to separate themselves in the contest, Cito's able to finish, and it has a chance right here to make it a 1-possession game.
Just like that, Cito can cut it down to 3. She has 22 in the game, 8 points, now 9 in this fourth quarter. 23 points for Cito. 50-47, Grove City, 2.5 to go. McConnell on the logo. Working it to her left. McDaniel called for the reach in. Number 3 on McDaniel. 4 team fouls for W&J, 3 for Grove City, but 1 more team foul for the Presidents. Will put on the automatic double bonus for Grove City. Bowen at the top. Now McConnell made a huge shot moments ago, stolen away. Cito and Johnston, the double team defense. Johnston goes up, offensive foul called. (50-47). Right around 2 minutes to go in regulation. Stanforth taking the charge. That is number 2 on Johnston. Lindsay Stanforth, no points in this game. The 5'6" junior, but what a moment there for the player off the bench defensively as Bowen works herself inside, picks up her dribble, and a foul.
Bowen's going to head to the line here, and that's 4 on Cito.
So the star for W&J picks up number 4. Cito with 23 in the game. Her team has 27, so to say it simply, that's a big loss if Cito would pick up number 5. First free throw missed by Grove City again. These are the moments where free throws go down That makes it a lot easier to finish things out. Second one does go. The lead is 4. Stanforth checks out. Kate Balcom not in the game for Grove City with under 2 minutes on the clock. Johnston, they got to get it across, and as they get it near half court, a foul called. And this is on McConnell.
So that's 4 on them, and you talked about how good of a free throw shooting team W&J was. That's going to be a huge thing to look at down the stretch, is how aggressive Grove City continues to play on the defensive end.
And not only is W&J the best team in the PAC at team free throw shooting, among the top 15 in the country at the Division III level. So if the Presidents get their free throw chances, they can make them count. Johnston with the basketball, W&J down by 4. McDaniel inside, screen set, now outside for a 3. Johnston off the side of the iron, no good. Book has the rebound, and Grove City can slow things down.
You're going to have to see some pressure defense. They're going to have to force Grove City into a turnover here.
Final minute of regulation time. Double team set on Bowen. She just gets the pass away, and Cito called for the foul.
Oh, they might have got a timeout first.
Or a timeout before.
And so it would have been. It would have been 5.
It saves Allie Cito from being caught for her 5th foul. So a big moment there. Timeout called by Coach Shelley Foose. And it keeps Allie Cito in the game because we saw whistles pretty much simultaneously, but Grove City awarded that timeout under a minute here. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Not yet in the area where W&J needs to foul. If you can just hold Grove City without a shot, we've seen examples, spurts of offense that show they can come right down and score quickly.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got it this far down in the shot clock. You're already down to 10. So you got to try to force Grove City to force a jump shot here, get the rebound, and try to go down and score as quick as you can, because if you score with about 40 to 35 seconds, you don't even have to foul. You can play defense and play it out and try to get one more stop and still have a chance to tie the game.
McConnell with the basketball. 5 on the shot clock. She goes to her right. Screen set. McConnell goes up with it. Too strong. Coming down with it, Allie Cito.
Got to be quick if they don't want to have to foul after this possession. And
McDaniel does a spin move right before getting across half court. Cito drive in, outside, Morningstar, Coek, corner 3, got it! Victoria Coek, tremendous off the bench, 12 points, all of them big time threes, and it just like that, a 1-point game with under 30 to go in the 4th quarter.
And Coek just continues to find herself open behind the arc, and she's able to continuously hit these 3-pointers that are keeping W&J in this game. 1-point game now, so under 30 seconds, so you're going to have to foul. But the difference is, since they made the 3 there, it's a 1-possession game regardless of what happens, and they actually put some time on the clock here, but you're still going to have to foul because 31 seconds, 1.5 seconds, not enough time to really get down the floor and get a shot off.
A very clutch shot for the freshman, Victoria Coek. That's a corner 3. Your team is down by 4, and you're in the stages where if that shot doesn't go down and Grove City picks up a rebound,
it's probably the game.
You're in a lot of trouble if you're W&J. So the freshman buries it, and we have a whole other story in front of us. 1-point game. Grove City has to go the length. 1 second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Inbound to McConnell. Working that sideline, she gets the pass to Bowen. Now Book, back to McConnell.
Got a foul.
Pressure defense coming from W&J, but they let Visozi handle it in the corner. Getting some pressure, and a foul finally comes with about 13 seconds to go.
It's going to be 4 on McDaniel, but the way the game has gone here, Grove City typically making 1 out of 2 from the line, and that's kind of exactly what you want if you're W&J in this situation.
Visozi, the freshman, in a huge spot. At the free throw line, up by 1. First shot, good. The freshman has 8. Second free throw coming. Good. 9 points and a timeout on the floor. We'll keep it here. 9 points for Emma Visazi. Both free throws go down, so 2 freshmen coming up huge. You get Koek with the big-time 3, and then Visazi handles both free throws on the other end to keep it at a 3-point game. If you're Coach Shelley Foose defensively in this huddle, what sort of scheme are you drawing up by 3 with 13 seconds to go?
Well, you have to guard the perimeter here, and I mean, if they're going to beat you off the dribble and get to the rim, you're going to let that happen because you still have the 1-point lead. But I mean, maybe though, since the way you've shot free throws in this game, you might have to foul on the drive here. But as long as you're guarding the perimeter here, now a timeout in women's basketball does advance the ball, so W&J will actually inbound it in the front court right below us here. So W&J probably drawing up a play here, maybe for Koek, because, I mean, she's been money from behind the arc in the game, set a couple of screens for her. But Grove City's biggest thing just has to be you need to guard the perimeter.
And another thing to consider, W&J's free throw shooting. If you send a player to the line and both go down, you're in a pretty similar situation as you just were, and then you need to make your free throws on the other end. 53-50, 13 seconds left in this one. The PAC Women's Championship game has lived up to the hype.
And the way Grove City shoots the ball here, you don't even really need a 3 if you're W&J. If you're going to get a 2, though, you got to score quick.
Inside the Morning Star off the inbound. 10 seconds. Koek taking a 3. No good. Johnston a big rebound. Puts up a shot. No good. Cito fouled on the other attempt. So Cito will get 2 free throws. A very good free throw shooter. And still 4 seconds to go in this one.
And the biggest thing here is W&J has a timeout left. So after they're able to foul Grove City, after these 2 free throws, they're going to be able to advance the ball and get another chance.
Ali Cito, individually, the best free throw shooter in the President's Athletic Conference, and the first one goes. Cito, a near 86% at the free throw line. And a timeout called by Coach Shelley Foose.
And I thought Coach Foose might actually wait until after the second free throw so that they could advance the ball in case W&J was able to steal an inbounds pass, and they would still have to go the length of the floor here, but they're going to make Cito think about it, and she's going to drop the inbounds play right now.
So 4.3 seconds left officially, 53-51 the score. Ali Cito with another free throw coming. And then W&J needs to either force a 5-second call in the inbound or get a very quick foul to send Grove City right back to the line.
Yep, can't be too picky on this possession. Whoever gets the inbound for Grove City, you have to foul them. But if you're W&J, Ali Cito can't be the one to pick up that 5th one.
Cito at the line, awaiting her second shot. It's good. And she was ready if she missed the shot. Now another timeout, 53-52 the score. W&J had leads after quarters 1 and 2. It was 19-13 Presidents after 1, 27-24 W&J at the half. Then after 3, it was all even at 32, and a very good fourth quarter for us, 53-52. This one coming right down to the wire between the Presidents and the Wolverines.
And it's been close to out. It's not like teams have been going on runs in this game. I mean, the biggest lead in the game has been, 9 points so far? And it's just been back and forth all night long. Either team has looked like they were going to separate themselves. The other one has the answer, and they just continue all night to go back and forth. Just incredible for both teams in this game. W&J now has a chance with this timeout, though, to get Ali Cito out of the game so that she doesn't have a chance to pick up that 5th foul, and they can get her to the scores table, even though they're going to leave her in the game here so that on this defensive possession.
So out of the timeout, Grove City with the inbound in the front court. Morning Star will defend Bowen's inbound pass.
It's a good call with the length there.
And the frame of Morning Star, 6 foot, as they get the pass in and a very quick foul. So you get the foul on Gutierrez. Should only be her second, and it sends McConnell to the free throw line. McConnell, 16 of 21 on the season at the free throw line. First shot, no good.
And W&J still with that timeout. They can advance the ball after this one.
So now the pressure on McConnell on the second shot. It goes. So the timeout called by Coach Gina DeRubo, and we're going to have an attempt to either tie it or win the game for W&J. 54-52, Grove City ahead. Just about 2 seconds left in this one. 2.8 officially as we come to you from inside the Carey Center on the campus of St. Vincent College in Latrobe. The PAC Women's Basketball Championship game on the PAC Sports Network. Men's coverage coming up a little bit past the top of the hour. Grove City men's trying to win the title at home, the 1 seed against number 5 Geneva. Greg Finley and Steve Mahler have the call for that one. Amanda Sloan will be producing to find out who wins the men's championship game. 2.8 seconds left. W&J inbounding. It's Johnston on the far side. Cito falls down as the pass goes in. A shot put up, but the clock did not start on time.
Clock didn't start at all.
And
that
they'll
actually hit off a podcle, and the clock did not start.
And they'll have to redo this. And the Grove City fans who travel well, they're going to be irate.
Yeah, because the game might have been over.
Hard to tell how much time would really be left.
Can you just end the game, though? Is that a thing?
I don't know if the officials can determine that the game would have truly been over.
Yep, I agree with that. You might just have to replay that. Run it back.
But W&J could be looking at a chance, and Shelly Foose past the coach's line there. And if you're in this situation, she's near half court. You got to be a little bit careful. Not sure how quick the trigger is for this officiating crew, but if somebody picks up,
she's just inside the line now.
If somebody would pick up a technical foul in this situation, it would be more than detrimental. Right now, 1.4 seconds sit on the clock. They have to figure out how much time
0.8
should be on. And they determine that it's 0.8 seconds. So neither side will be happy with this determination. The Grove City side hoping that the game should be over. W&J side hoping there's a little bit more time. This has to be a catch and shoot for the Presidents. Johnston will do the inbound. Again, Cito underneath the basket. Far side inbound. We'll see what happens. Underneath the Cito, ball tips out of play, and that'll do it. Grove City, the queens of the President's Athletic Conference, for the first time since the 1986-1987 season.
Hold on.
And now officials come in 10 seconds after the celebration and say, hold the phones. Now what's the determination? And Shelly Foose again not happy.
And I won't lie, there was definitely time on the clock when it ended up out of bounds. So, I mean, it's going to be like 0.2 seconds. But there was still a little bit of time on the clock.
But again, Shelly Foose, you have to be careful in this situation. Because anything that sets the officials off.
Yeah, would essentially tie the game.
And that will almost hand the game to W&J.
I thought he did it. They gave her a warning. Now she really has to be careful.
Because if you put W&J at the free throw line, and now again we see the officials having a discussion with Shelly Foose. Her whole team in a huddle. High drama
How about the
to finish out the PAC women's basketball season. We were hoping for a good one. We've gotten a great one. And Grove City has the basketball, needing to inbound with 0.5 seconds left on the clock. Bowen has to just launch it. She finds Podkul, and that'll do it. Grove City has won the President's Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Championship for the first time since 1987. The Grove City Wolverines, under head coach Shelley Foose, take the title. Coach Foose, her first with Grove City, 7th year with the team, 7th year as the head coach, 14th year with the team. And the Wolverines have claimed it on the women's side, beating W&J 54-52 to finish out the PAC women's basketball season. A bid to the NCAA Division III women's tournament ahead for Grove City. But Jonathan, a great finish to this one. And now we see the prayer at center court, but 54-52, Grove City gets the win after a 32-32 tie after 3. We saw an outstanding fourth quarter, and it certainly didn't lack in drama in those final few seconds of the game.
And it is an incredible 40 minutes total, and then those last 4 seconds, as you said, high drama there. But the refs did a great job handling all those situations. They got everything right. And just at the end of the day, Grove City, their defense, they needed one more stop, and they were able to force a turnover to win the PAC championship.
So now the trophy ceremony will take place in Grove City. Winners of 12 in a row, the 25th win for the Wolverines this year, a 25-2 record for Grove City, 15-2 in conference. An outstanding season. The record number of wins for Grove City. And for the second year in a row at St. Vincent, W&J goes down in the title game. W&J has been in the title game in the last few seasons. We'll step aside, let PA man Josh Suzek take over from here. Trophy ceremony and the cutting of the nets inside the Carey Center.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 80 class 2019-2020 champs, Congratulations to our champs, the Grove City Wolverines.
The traditional cutting of the nets as the Grove City Wolverines women's basketball team are the champions of PAC Women's Hoops. A 54-52 win over the presidents of W&J. Donnie Chedrick alongside Jonathan Spina. And Jonathan, we've been here all weekend, the two semifinals last night, and then the championship today, and Grove City just topping W&J, but a tremendous game we just saw.
Yeah, I mean, no double-digit lead in the game at all for either team. It was back and forth, lead changes all over the place. We were tied for a ton of that third quarter. We were tied for most of that fourth quarter, and there was a ton of doubt throughout the game. It's not like you knew one team had momentum. Momentum continued to shift, and at the end, Grove City got the stop to win it.
Looking at the numbers, Grove City, 54 points in the win, shooting 34% from the field, 45% from three, 5 of 11 from beyond the arc, 57% from the free throw line. 12 points for Jordan McConnell. She led the way. 10 points for Kate Balcom. She is our Foster Law Office's player of the game. 10 points for Balcom, 8 rebounds, also had 3 assists. Only 1 steal and 1 block. But the two-time Defensive Player of the Year in the PAC, the senior leader of this Grove City women's squad, Balcom going out with a championship. Grove City will receive an automatic bid to the Division III NCAA women's basketball tournament. Others scoring for Grove City, Jess Bowen with 10 points, also 2 rebounds for Bowen. 7 points and 10 rebounds for Allison Podkol, the sophomore, with a big performance. Jess Book had 6 points and 5 rebounds. Then off the bench, Emma Visozzi, 9 points, 4 rebounds for the freshman for Grove City. For W&J, 52 points in the 2-point loss. 25 points for Ali Cito. Can't really say enough about Cito's last 2 games. 34 points against St. Vincent, 25 points against Grove City, 59 points for Cito in just 2 games. She finishes with 15 rebounds, so a monstrous weekend, and even in a losing effort today, one of the best individual performances we've seen in the semifinals and championship round of the PAC women's tournament.
Yeah, and if you even go back to the quarterfinal, she had 19 points in that game as well. So just a phenomenal tournament overall for Ali Cito. Really carried them yesterday throughout when every time St. Vincent would make a run. And even today when it looked like Grove City was finally going to be able to separate themselves, Cito had the answer. A great tournament for her, but it was just not enough tonight for this great Grove City team who ends up winning by 2.
Victoria Koek, a great game for the freshman. 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. Another player, whenever a big shot was needed, she came up with it on a couple of occasions in this game, specifically when Grove City was up 51-47 and about 30 seconds to go. Koek burying a 3 to make it just a 1-point difference. She finishes with 12, also had 2 blocks and a steal. 8 points for Hannah Johnston, 2 rebounds also for Johnston. 3 points for Piper Morningstar. She added 3 rebounds and 4 assists. Then Megan Williams and Maria Lawhorn added 2 points for the Presidents as the team shot 34% from the field, 33% from beyond the arc, 6 of 18, and then 10 of 16 at the free throw line. So the Presidents, who all season led the way as a team in free throw shooting just 62% in the championship game. Scoring breakdown by quarter, W&J again led after 1, 19-13. It was then W&J 27-24 at the half. A very low-scoring third quarter. 8-5 was the scoring in the third quarter alone, and it kept us even through 3. It was 32 all heading to the fourth, and then a 22-20 fourth quarter scoring. So the offense showed up in the final quarter of this one and really brought some excitement to us in the end. 54-52, Grove City gets the win. And we've talked about that Grove City defense all season long, allowing 53 points per game. They allow 52 in the championship victory.
And we talked about the Grove City defense all year long. It took 1 stop for them to win the game. They were able to get that turnover, get the ball in bounds, and that was all she wrote. Defense wins championships, and we saw it here all season long from Grove City.
Shelly Foose cuts down the final part of the net as Grove City victorious again, 54-52 over the Presidents of W&J. That'll do it for us from the Carey Center. We want to thank the students and staff of St. Vincent College, R.J. Licey, also helping out for us this afternoon, Noah Aftanis, our cameraman, our producer, George Hillen. And for my partner, Jonathan Spina, I'm Donnie Chedrick saying so long from the Carey Center inside on the campus of St. Vincent College. Again, your final score, Grove City 54, W&J 52, as the Wolverines claim their first women's basketball championship since 1987. And you saw it all right here on the PAC Sports Network.